Alrighty guys, so we're back. We are down to our last three metals, and it's cobalt, zinc, and tungsten. So let's get to it. So first one we're going to look at is tungsten. Okay, so right now we got tungsten ore. What can we use tungsten ore for? We can make this yellow metal catalyst with it. We can make tungsten acid and what have you with it, and we can process the tungsten. But we're not to the point where we can do that quite yet because we don't have the technology. We are headed in that direction. It is down here somewhere, but we're basically kind of stuck right now. We can't really do it, but we can get set up for it. And we can't really go any further than the processed tungsten itself once we even get to that point. We don't have the ability to use it really or anything else. So we're gonna go that far and you know, see what we can do. That'll start to give us tungsten powder. We'll be able to start making plates and stuff like that. So we're just gonna throw this down and get it set up. Since we're here, we're not going to be able to, like I say, we're not going to be able to use it. So we're just going to kind of put it there. And then we're going to go from there. So we will change this. Obviously, we won't be able to do the processed tungsten yet. So we are going to turn these off, right? Just like the other ones. And that's all the further we're going to go with it. We're really not in a position to do anything else yet. So let's go ahead and run power over so that we've got the power run. And then we'll leave that one there. Okay, we'll do something with this temporarily so that it doesn't block up our works when we start producing all this stuff. So let's go on over here and deal with our cobalt and our zinc. Okay, and we're going to do zinc first since that's the first one we got to. All right, so zinc. So we can do zinc, and we can turn zinc into zinc ingots if we add lead. We can turn it into processed zinc, and we can turn it into zinc oxide, etc., etc. Now, we can also start using the processed zinc. We can take the processed zinc, we can add carbon to it and oxygen gas to it and start making our zinc ingots, right? So we can go that far. Now, zinc ingots, we use it for molten solder, we're using it for, you can do zinc powder, we can use it for brass, etc., etc., etc. So right now what we need to be making is we need to be making zinc ingots, right? So zinc ingots, are going to be made in a chemical furnace, and they're going to be made using carbon and oxygen and processed zinc, right? So we can go ahead and we can basically use this blueprint, right? And that's going to start to give us our processed zinc. And of course we're set up because we get the double lines, so we're set up, we can add our carbon, right? And then we've got to turn around and change these to chemical furnaces. Because it's got to be done in a chemical furnace as opposed to a blast furnace. All right, so carbon, processed zinc, and oxygen gas. And that is going to give us our zinc ingots. And then we're going to tell this processed zinc. Right? So, all right. So 1 up from it. Like that. And then that'll come down there. That'll give us the processed zinc. Then we're going to come in here. Now we got to bring in oxygen. So let's see. We want boom, 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 boom. Okay. And then let's take out these ones. All right, and we'll connect it out there. Looks like we're out of medium poles again. 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll make some medium poles. And then we want another goes into, but we can't put it there. So let's make them the same. Put them there, there, and there. Right. That should allow us to do what we need to do. Oops. And then we don't need that part there because we're going to bring it over from here and bring it up and in. All right. So first thing we're going to do. Oops. Bring that in. And there is our charcoal to get us running. Right? That'll give us our charcoal. And then we'll have to bring over our carbon. Bring our carbon in. Now we may have to move this around a little bit because we're still going to need to bring our charcoal into the other process, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. All right. We still gotta and we'll just do that. I think is what we'll do. Right? There we go. So there's going to be our oxygen. Now we just got to hook our oxygen up. And where are we closest at? We're kind of damn near brown. Oh, wait. Well, we got oxygen right here. All right. We got oxygen right below us. Had to zoom all the way out to the map to see it, but that's because I'm blind. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? That's oxygen, right? Or not oxygen. That's oxygen. That wants oxygen. Bullshit. All right, fine. Oh, I see what happened here. Dummy me. We've also got to take out our leftover gas, and I didn't flip them in the right directions. So now we got to get rid of all of our piping. Easy enough. Here to here to here. to here, right? And then here to here to here to here. Boom, 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 boom. Straight pipe down to there. All right, there we go. Now we have our oxygen going to everybody that wants oxygen, right? And then we got to go here to here to here to here. And here to here to here to here. And that's going to give us our discharge. And what is it that's coming out? Sulfur dioxide gas, which I do believe, I know it's not down there, I know it's not anywhere close to there. Sulfuric acid. Are we not? Looks like we are not using it there. We're just bringing something else in. But I thought there was somewhere, wasn't there somewhere that we were right here, right? I believe this was, yeah, we're using it here. We're turning it into, all right, so let's go all the way up here, drag a line down. Right, so that was sulfur dioxide gas as the output. So if we tap into this line, we can actually come up here later and prioritize this over this so that we are using that to fill our sulfur first. In the meantime, oops. All right, can we reach all the way across? Yes, we can. Just. So that's going to give us more sulfuric acid, which is kind of nice, because we're ultimately going to need that to process our geodes and stuff like that. We're going to be using it up as part of our processing to make the metals and stuff. So that's good, right? So we can go here, here, and there, and then go boom, boom. All right, we're still got a ways to go. Right, and that'll take that up to there. Because we want to get rid of it, we will put a pump in. Oops. Right, and then that'll force it out of our system. The oxygen will come in and that will supply that, and then that should give us our everything we need, right? I think so. All right, let us see. All right, so zinc comes down, zinc gets turned into processed zinc goes into here. Oh, you know what? We got one more thing we got to do. So we got to go long, short, right? And then we'll tell this one short and long. And we got long, short, and short, long. That way they're not fighting. That's why I put them opposite one another. All right, so there we go. So now we are making our zinc ingots, right? We're going to stretch this down to have them all even. Because at the end of this, we got one more thing we got to do. All right, so there is zinc. And now we got to do cobalt. Now, cobalt is here. So, cobalt, we can make cobalt ingots straight out of cobalt ore. All right. We can also make processed cobalt, but we are not in the into the research for cobalt. It is coming up. It is one of our next sciences. So we might as well start to plan for it, I think. All right, so that will be processed cobalt. And then from processed cobalt, we can make cobalt oxide. Now, the thing with the cobalt oxide, we need limestone. Okay? And then from cobalt oxide, that will give us cobalt ingots. All right? So we'll have to bring in limestone. And the cobalt oxide is made in chemical furnaces, so we got a plan for that. Do we have any more chemical furnaces? We do not. We do not. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We'll upgrade those to the blue ones before we get started. We got some more research that we've done, so let's go ahead and get the exclamation point out of those. So now, let us start with the cobalt. We're going to start by processing it, even though thus far we can't, we really kind of can't, but we will get it set up. Change that. We don't have the cobalt processing yet, so we can open that up. We are okay. What did we need? What did we need for making these? We need the old ones. We need red circuits, brass pipes, so aluminum, concrete, and brass, basically. Aluminum, concrete, brass, and red circuits. We'll go ahead and upgrade those blue ones while we're at it. So let's run over here real quick, and hopefully we can pick up some red circuits. That's going to be the thing that's going to hurt us. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to need aluminum. One. All right. Looks like now we have enough. Did we? Oh, I guess we did have red circuits on us. So we already have 3. 1, 2, 3 that we made. So that'll turn the other 3 in. All right. So let's go up here and get ourselves some inserters. Let's grab all of them. To heck with it. And we're going to grab more belts. And I think we're okay with everything else. All right, so that will give us our processed cobalt, right? So cobalt goes to processed cobalt. Processed cobalt goes to cobalt oxide with the inclusion of limestone. So we're going to need one, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because you're going to need a belt for fuel, and you're going to need a belt for limestone. Right? And we can turn that there. That'll give us that. And then this will come out and down. This will come through. So we're going to want to go across here. Right? And does this need... Okay, it doesn't need any gas. So it's just going to be the oxide out. All right, cool. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got 2 goes-intos on each one. Right? So then that gives us that. And then we'll need to do that, and we'll need to do that, and we'll have to bring limestone into the system by train. All right. Yep. All right. So then let's do something here. So that should do one close, one far, right? And all of them will be one close, one far. Now, is everybody is within? Yep, good. All right. And then that's going to come out. One, two. Right, and then that will give us our carbon oxide, or our cobalt oxide, which we can then turn into cobalt ingots. And we need blast furnaces for that. And we need to bring in that and what you call it? Do we have one that is just? No, we don't. All right, so we'll grab one real quick that is just the blast furnaces. Right, and then that will come down like so. Give ourselves a spot. Of course, we'll have to change these belts to the other direction. Yep. Reverse those. Let's do something here. Let's do that there, that, and then that there. Because then we can do that like that. Bring one down here. And then one there. Pick that off and bring it there. So then that's going to give us our carbon. And that'll bring that there, right? And then we want to jump here. And that'll bring that down. And that'll bring that down. And that'll bring that down. And then we want to go here. And there. Right? And then that, we just got to change this to the right process when the time comes. We can't do it right now because all it is just that. So what we will do instead, just to get it started, is we'll take that out. We'll bring that straight down. And we'll bring that straight down. And we will tell this to go straight into making cobalt ingots. Right? Right. Okay, so then we bring this over. So that we've got a line all the way across. And then we just got to bring it down there. Right? So now that should be making cobalt ingots. The only thing we're not doing is it should be alternating sides. So outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, and then we can copy that and do it there, and then outside, inside. There we go. All right, now we got them all coming down. Let's go ahead and bring this one down to the same level as the other ones. Right? All right, so now we have all of our metals being processed into their basic usable form, whether it be plates in the case of most things or ingots in the case of some things. Now, like the cobalt, we're going to combine cobalt ingots and we're going to combine steel ingots, and we're going to make cobalt steel plates and things like that. So this is where we need to be right now. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to get this started. We want to get it running. And we've got some things that are backing up the process because they're not being used. So nothing else can process until we get those used. So what are we going to do about that? What we're going to do is this. We're going to grab ourselves a warehouse. And we are going to start putting these puppies in a warehouse. Because the next thing after that, we got to build a train station and start delivering them where they got to go. All right, so we need 2 more warehouses. We can make one. What are we out? We're out iron plates. Well, luckily we're making iron plates over here. Because we need one for the steel production that's coming down. Oh no, we did put one for the steel. Okay, so we need the one. You know what? We'll grab the iron plates anyway. And we'll make another one. All right. Because we got our tungsten, is it? That's up here. That we really can't do anything with right now. Because we don't have the technology to process it. But we don't want it gumming up our works. So until we can start using it, we're going to put it in a warehouse. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these mini loaders into each one, so it starts spitting it all in quick as possible. And then we're going to mini loader each of these. All right. And then we just have to pole each of them. Oops. All right, there we go. Now they should each start filling. Right? Okay, and that means that all of this should now be moving. Why is our copper not moving? I guess because we've got so much of it. All right, it's moving a little bit now. Now we're seeing it move. All right. Moving nicely. We're not moving at all here. Okay, this we're going to address in a minute. I've got a solution for that too. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, that's moving nicely. Now, here is the problem with our rubyite. We can make rubyite chunks, but in order to make rubyite crystals, we need nitric acid. In order to make nitric acid, we need nitric wastewater. And we're relying on the rubyite chunks to process through here to create the nitric wastewater to make the nitric acid to make the next step. So what we need to do is we need to take some of this processing and bypass this. The only thing that we're getting out of this that we're not getting out of the bypassed process is our uranium and our gold. Okay? So what we're going to do is this. I am going to add this to the process. And what this is just a sorter that's going to pluck off some of the rubyite. It's going to end up making a couple of things. It's going to make slag, which we're going to have to get rid of. All right, and it's going to make the other stuff that's only going to make the 4 other ones. All right, and we're going to have to take those down. I'm going to bring those down here. And we're going to inject them back into the system right here. All right, so what'll happen is this should hopefully cause enough of this to produce the acid that we need to do this. That's my thought process. We will see if it actually works or not. So we're going to pluck off of there, bring it down here, and bring it there. And then that slag, we're going to bring back up here and put back into the process. Right? And I think what I'm going to do is I want to be able to put it in as close to the beginning of the process as I can, so we get rid of as much of it as possible and kind of prioritize it. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to insert it back into my system there. Right? Now the only problem with that is I don't think this will reach. Yep, that won't reach. And it won't reach there. All right, so we can do a fast underground belt, and that'll give us the reach that we need. We haven't changed everything over to those yet. We're just using the yellows. Now we'll use it just to go right there. Put a pole in here, and that should accept that back into there. We're just going to need to snake this down. I imagine I could put it in farther along in the process, but I want to try and get it as close to the source as I can. My thinking is that by doing that, I have less backups, theoretically. And then we got to come down here and we got to bring it out. Okay, so there's going to be our slag. And it looks like any way we go, we're going to run into a pipe, so we'll just bypass the pipe. All right, so that should take that and put it back into the system. And that should provide us enough usage for this to cycle through to create the nitric waste water we need to be able to make the nitric acid. That's my thought process. We'll see if it actually works. You know, but it looks like it's working. We should start to get the next bit down here. And then as this starts to process, it will create more demand as well. And that should process through. Because, you know, it'll be using it here, and then that'll use it there, and so on and so forth. And the only thing we're really not getting out of it by doing that is going to be the uranium and the gold. And we're not using a ton of either of those. So for now, we're going to be okay with that until we can get our puffer acid set up and start to make puffer acid and what have you. But we also, I do believe, yeah, we're doing gold over here as well. So the only thing we're really not getting is the uranium. All right. So there it is. That's got that started. And we'll slowly but surely start to see uranium process through here. Hopefully. Yeah, here it is. It's coming down now. So now we'll start to see a little bit of uranium come out. And make sure it goes to the right place. Yep, all right. There we go, and that'll come down and come over, and there we go. Now, the next issue we're going to have is because we are making way more iron than we are making of, say, zinc and tin and things like that, and we need more of the tin and whatnot than we need of, say, the iron and copper right now. We need to be able to keep those flowing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to wire in a void chest. But we are going to wire the switch to the warehouse. Now, the warehouse will hold 768 stacks. So let's grab a calculator here. So 768 stacks, and a stack of iron is 200. So that's a total of 153,600. So we're going to tell this not to turn on until iron plate is greater than 153,500. Right? So what will happen is it will mostly fill up this warehouse. And then when the warehouse gets close to being filled, it'll dump it into the void chest. I know it's wasteful, but it's not like we're getting our resources from a resource field. We're making it from the ocean. The ocean is vast and inexhaustible, theoretically, in the game. So it doesn't matter that we waste the iron plate in order to make some of the other production. So we're going to go through And we're going to do that with each of these warehouses. The thing is, now we're not going to do it that way. We're just going to go ahead and place them all down. The thing is, each of these has a different stack height, so we're going to have to do the math for each of them. I'm not going to sit here and do the math on camera for each of these. That's what my plan is to do this so that each of these warehouses has an overflow. All right. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put in a void chest, and I'm going to put in an inserter for each one of these. Did I run out of? I ran out of. I need one more, because I got to go up here and I got to put one up here. Right, because we need one here for this guy. And we will have to see, okay, so these are 200, so it's going to be the same number. So this will be tungsten greater than, what did I say? 153, 500. 153, 500. Right? And then that'll fill up. And I'm going to go through and I'll do that for each of these guys. I'm not going to sit here and do it on camera. But there it is. We are now making all of the metals. Next episode, we're going to set up a train station down here. We're going to start delivering these metals to the train station. And we're going to get them over here to our bus so that we can get our production going up and running better. All right, guys? All right, you guys take care. I will see you later. Bye.